All right. Good
What's
to
up,
go.
brother?
Chilling, man.
It's been a long time.
Hanging out at home. Yeah, it actually has been a lot longer than it probably should have been, but we're here. Still here.
I see that flag, bro. The Korean flag is back there representing.
Yeah. Shout out to young brother Dylan. He got me that. I got a lot of people to sign it. So I had to show that prominently. Both those are actually from Korea. The Wu-Tang one is from Lit Lounge. When DJ Symphony came and he gave out some stuff, and then the Korean flag was from all of you guys when I was leaving. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I'm glad you still have that, bro.
Of course, man. I'm not getting rid of that.
It's such
This is my little room right here with all my stuff. So I got the 2 albums in the back as well. My girlfriend got them framed, so I put them up on the wall.
Nice, bro. What have you been up to since?
Not a damn thing, man. I came back. I was working for a little bit. Market's not great now, so looking for a new job. I put out a couple tracks. I'm working on a new album right now as well. What have I been doing besides that? Just reconnecting with family, reconnecting with friends. Girlfriend. Just life stuff. What about you? What's going on?
All right. Well, first off, let me do a formal reintroduction, because I feel
for sure.
We were having a lot of technical difficulties, so I just want to. We didn't really have a good start, But welcome to Too Many Thoughts and Too Many Problems. I have one of my favorite people here, Saint Mike, the Saint Mike.
Thank you, sir.
All the way out from when we were in Korea. We had a couple podcasts together, like 2 or 3. Yeah. Very
good ones.
Yeah.
I still show people those podcasts. Sometimes people will be like, oh, what were you doing there? I'm like, well, besides music and volleyball, I was also podcasting a little bit with my boy Will. So
Yeah, I went back and watched some of them, the ones with like you, me, and Gage too, and I was like, yo, this is like high quality stuff going on.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of podcast studios in Seoul and everything like that. So it was good. I feel like you could get good quality stuff out there for the low ski, for the cheap.
Yeah. Well,
spend a little bit of money, you can get like a full video podcast. And,
that is true.
Well, you filmed it, but you get like the audio and everything.
Yeah. But not just that, but like high quality like content, that we were putting out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We were getting some stuff off, that's for sure. We were getting into a lot of deep topics and everything like that.
Yeah.
Shout out Gage. Shout out Trisha as well. I did one with her. Shout out Young Teho.
That one was good too.
One. Yeah, Teho's out here, I believe, in Canada, unless he's traveling somewhere else.
Have you guys been able to link up at all, or no?
No, he's in a completely different province.
Oh,
That's the thing about Canada, where like I feel like if you're in the States, like there's some states that are huge, obviously, but it's like you can kind of go from state to state, and it's you can drive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here, things are far, man.
Yeah.
Like going just a couple provinces over is like far.
Yeah.
I'd love to though one day.
Yeah.
Shout out Teo. That's my guy.
We miss you, Teo.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I get it because like Calvin's back here too now, and I have yet to see him at all either, because
Where is he?
He's studying in LA right now or something like that. In Cali.
LA.
Yeah. He's getting his
Congrats to him.
I want to say like masters or something. I don't remember exactly in what, but yeah, he's back in school right now.
Shout out Calvin.
Yeah, living
Calvin,
it up.
I feel like the era of like Teho and Calvin like didn't overlap exactly.
Yeah.
Like it was Teho, and then he left, and then it was like his doppelganger just like replaced him. And then they ended up meeting each other at some point.
Yeah, and they became like
cool.
best
That was a crossover
friends,
episode.
twins.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love both those guys, man. Those guys are cool.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know Saint Mike, he is a musician, a producer. He's an amazing volleyball player. One of the best teachers I know out there too. Yeah, he does everything.
I wouldn't say everything. I got a couple things. I got a couple things that I specialize in. I do play volleyball. I can't play right now. I actually broke my kneecap recently.
What?
So it's broken right now.
From volleyball?
From volleyball. I was going up for a hit.
Brother.
I didn't even. It's weird. I didn't land and hit it on it. Like I didn't fall. I didn't, bump into anybody else. I didn't hit it on a wall or anything. I was literally going for a hit. And when I bent my knees to jump, when I bent my knees to jump, I felt like a pop in my knee, and I was like, oh, I didn't think it was broken.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But I was just hoping it wasn't like meniscus or ACL or anything like that. But I could still stand and walk on it, so I was like, well, I guess it's not an ACL.
Yeah.
Found out a couple of days later it was broken.
Damn.
No surgery though. So shout out that.
That's good. So is it just like in a cast or something?
There is not a full cast, but there's like a brace I'm supposed to wear.
Okay.
I wear it most of the time. I'm not wearing it now just because like if I have to sit for long periods of time and keep my leg 100% straight, it's kind of inconvenient.
Right.
But yeah, after this, I'll probably put it back on.
Dang, I feel like we've always had knee problems like ever since Korea.
Yeah. It's gonna be worse now.
Yeah.
Because like after this, hopefully it heals up and everything. I'm probably gonna have to go back into physio, because keeping your legs straight for like 2 months or whatever, you can't just go straight back into sports. But a lot of people telling me they're like, yo, you should quit volleyball. It's like, nah, you don't get it.
Yeah.
People don't get it.
Yeah.
They just say like, oh yeah, go swim, like go ride a stationary bike. I was like, listen, all those things are fine. Shout out all the people that like to do that, but nah, I gotta play volleyball, man.
They don't get it.
It's just part of me.
Yeah, it's part of your life. It's part of me,
Yeah, it makes me happy, even if I have to hurt myself constantly to do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point?
What's the point? What are we living? What are we living for?
Right.
Can't even do the stuff that we want to do.
How long is the recovery gonna be, or estimated to
be? They said 6 weeks. This happened. How many weeks ago now? Maybe like 3 weeks ago, or something like that. So I got another 3 weeks, 2.5 or 3 weeks to go before I get it reevaluated. So I get it looked at again, new X-ray, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, good news and whatever. If not, then I probably just have to hold on for a little bit longer. But it sucked. It was literally my first game back. I took the whole summer off of playing volleyball. I played some beach here and there, just to sub for some friends and stuff, but nothing serious. I wasn't playing every week or anything like that. And I was just in physio. And it was my first game back. The second set of my first game broke my knee.
Damn.
So
that's so sad, bro. Did you hear about Mungi?
I was there for that.
Yeah.
When he like
first hurt himself.
Was I there for that? Yeah, he like blew up his whole leg.
Yeah, and then he came back to play. Like after his recovery, he came back to play. On that first game, he blew it up again.
I didn't know about that part.
Yeah.
I remember I was there for the first time. I didn't know that he hurt himself again.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. It's like once you hurt it the first time, it's like the structural integrity is not there. You almost have to wait extra long.
I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for you too, bro.
Yeah, I mean he's young though. Yeah, I'm at a point where it's like it kind of is what it is. But for him, he's like really young, explosive guy. So not being able to play for as long as it was the first time and now back, and then he's got to sit down again for another extended period of time. That sucks, man.
At least
prayers up to him, no.
Yeah. At least his is like his was like almost a year now.
Yeah.
Combined, I guess. Yeah. It sucks.
Which is, and in the grand scheme, it's like, it's just a year, but that's a long time to not be doing something that you really care about, especially not doing something and having to go through recovery.
Right.
So you gotta go through physio. You can't do regular stuff, walking up and down stairs.
It's
like I have a
frustrating.
friend, that I play volleyball with now. His girlfriend, she had an ACL tear, and it's like a grueling process to get back. That was the thing I was scared of when I hurt myself. I'm like, I hope it's not that, because once you tear ligaments and stuff like that, you get into the recovery is long, it's arduous, and I'm not feeling it.
Also, like the social aspect of it, when he hurt himself, he he no longer kind of could really hang out with us. And so,
and I mean
the community part of being able to play and being out there with your friends.
And that's almost, to me that's like more important, almost, than the playing itself. The sport's amazing. Obviously, we both love volleyball. We all love volleyball, but just the community that created for us, I think, was super important. And not having that access all the time is that's the part that really hurts.
Yeah. So, I mean, today we're going to talk about community. So, let's first define what that is first, you know? What does that mean to you?
For sure.
Yeah.
Community. You know, I've been thinking a lot about community recently, which is kind of why I wanted to discuss it today. Community is not necessarily just your family, but people that, you know, they come together for maybe a shared reason, a shared goal, and they support each other. It's not always 100% like you get along like your best friends all the time, but it's like people that care about the same thing. Even if caring about the same thing just means caring about each other. So yeah, community, it's been on my mind a lot. I've been doing some writing about it, having some conversations with my girlfriend about it. And
so what's the big thing you would say that's getting you to think about it more often now? Or have you always...
sorry to cut you off.
I was saying, have you always been kind of thinking about it, or like, is this even more than before?
I mean, it's always kind of been something that I thought about, but I think having left Korea and community operating in one way there, and then coming back here and community operating in a different way here, just the contrast, because it's been a little bit over a year now that I've been back, and yeah, just seeing the difference and how that difference affects my life directly has made me think a lot more about it.
So what's like the biggest difference that's getting you to think about that?
Yeah, so normally when I talk about it with people, the way that I kind of see it is, for most people, when they go to Korea or they go to another country, I'm assuming it's very similar when you go to Japan, China,
another country out
wherever.
There.
Yeah, it's a lot of people go by themselves, or they might go maybe with one friend, right? So when you go, you don't really have, you don't really have anybody, you know. So
you're a solo.
Yeah. You don't really have anybody. So to survive, you kind of need like a found family type of thing, you know? So when I was in Korea, it's like, those are the people that you do everything with, you know. It's Thanksgiving, even though Thanksgiving's not really a thing in Korea, you know, you spend time with them.
Right.
Whereas here, you know, like there's a lot more ingrained community. People have family, you know, that they spend their time with. People have friends from childhood or, you know, college or whatever. And I feel like there's just less, man, maybe it's me, maybe it's where I live or whatever. But there's just less of a, you know, reaching across to interact with people. Whereas in Korea, it felt really simple and like really easy because it was, and that's not to say it's for everybody, because I've heard about people that go and have difficulties when they travel or with their expats and stuff. Right. But it just felt much more built in, like much more ingrained, because you didn't have anybody else. You just, you know, you had the whatever community you created for yourself.
I can agree to that, because I was feeling that a lot lately too. Even for like, let's say for example, because my birthday just passed recently, and you reached out.
Belated.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
I mean, I said happy birthday at the time, but yeah, happy belated. So everybody here knows it was your birthday.
And, you know, like being out there when there was someone's birthday going on, we would like reach out to that person and be like, yo, so what's the plan? What are we doing? Like, we got to celebrate your birthday, you know? We're celebrating you this weekend. What do you want to do? But here, brother, it's like, no one even knew it was my, well, I mean, I've been gone for a long time regardless, but the people who didn't know it was my birthday, they didn't reach out or nothing. They're just like, okay, well, happy birthday, and that's it. And, or if some of them didn't even like say happy birthday, they just like ignored it or whatever, you know? And I mean, it's fine. Like, fortunately, I have my family and I have a good relationship with my immediate family. And, you know, we had a small family dinner for that. But it's also just very different, like, sides of the world coming from, like, when we were hanging out with our crew in Korea, like, if it's someone's birthday, we're all getting together, we're all doing something. It's like a tight-knit crew. But here, it's like, yeah, even though they're my friends and they're kind of my, like, crew here and stuff, we don't really hang out for someone's birthday unless like that host is making it a big deal or something, you know?
Yeah. And I like one of the one of the quotes that I've heard a lot recently, and I've been ruminating on a lot, is the idea that the cost for community is inconvenience.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I feel like in my experience, and every single thing that I'm saying today is just in my experience. I can't really talk for other people. Other people may have like fantastic communities and people around them or whatever, but like, I feel like we were just willing when we were in Korea to like do certain stuff, right? And like there was always an excuse to do something. Like we were all living in Seoul, or we were close by anyway, so it was like easy for us to kind of get up and do stuff, and the things were like available. Now when I want to do something, it's very much more like a plan. Like I live in a very driver centric city, you know. I live outside of Toronto, so things just aren't as convenient. And also, you know, I'm older, right? Like when I first went to Korea, I was in my mid-20s. You know, I'm approaching my mid-30s now, and people get busy. I have friends that are either married or they're getting married, friends that have kids.
Yep.
You know, yeah, and it's different. So it's like my expectations have to be tempered. They have to be changed a little bit. So, you know, I can't really be upset. Plus, like you said, we were gone for a long time, right? Relationships change and evolve and whatever. But yeah, I've had a harder time finding a community that I feel like fits me since I've been back. You know, over there, I was very lucky. You know, but I had a conversation recently with my girlfriend. She's like, well, you know, Korea makes you really happy. She's like, why? Like, could you potentially go back?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, it's not the country,
yeah.
You know, it was the time there. It was the people that were there when you were there. Like Korea itself is a fantastic, amazing country. I love Seoul. I love the time that I spent there, but it's not just about the city. It's not just about the country. It's about like what it was at the time of my life that I was there.
And I've talked about this many times too in like some of my other podcasts and stuff. And like I always talk about how much I miss being out there in Korea, but it's like, yeah, like we were saying, it's not like Korea itself that's like exactly everything that I miss. Of course, there's great things that I miss about it, but it's like the people who we were there, you know, what we had there, what we were able to do there. It spoke a lot to how we were able to live our lives, and I guess like the happiness that it brought to our own lives. And coming back, yeah, I do agree. Well, also I was gonna say, like, I feel like being back there, people were just so much more willing to go out of their way to like meet you like somewhere. Here I'm like, if I'm trying to hit up a friend and it's more than 15-minute drive, everyone's like, no, I can't do it today. And I was like, brother, like I used to go like 45 to an hour out just to hang out with you guys or something when I was living like outside of Seoul, you know?
Yeah. Middle of the night, hop on a subway, go wherever, you know what I'm saying, knowing that the subways are going to stop running at whatever time and you're going to have to figure out your way to get back home. There was like there was just more of a openness. There was more of an excitement to do certain things. And I think it is who we were as people, but it's also like the city and the country, I think, facilitates that as well.
That's true.
You know, like people are always outside. People are always doing something. You know, there's trains that will take you anywhere you want to go. Like, I can almost understand it if I ask somebody, I was like, hey, I want to do this thing. And, you know, it's a work night or whatever. And then they have to, like, get in their car. Maybe they got to get gas. They got to drive wherever. Now you got to think about it. Oh, can I drink? Oh, I can't drink. You know, I got to drive or whatever. It's like, there's just more... There's more logistics that go into stuff. I feel like we were able to kind of be more free and willy-nilly with the way that we did stuff just because it was easy for us to do it. You know, like if I wanted to, I could be in Itaewon every single night. You know, it would literally, true. I could go every single night. It would be no problem. I could just hop on a night bus. I could hop on, you know, get in a Kakao T, you know, Kakao taxi, or if I wanted to leave early, I could hop on the subway. It was just like things were built for people to go do things together. And it was built for people to especially together in Korea. Like doing stuff together in Korea is like a huge thing.
Yeah. And I think that's also very like Korean culture thing, you know, like they not only that it was built for that, but as the culture that they have, that they're always doing something together. Like you rarely ever see someone go out and eat like brunch by themselves in Korea. Like if they do, they're like, you know, on a work break or something, or it's an expat who's doing that or something like that. But if it's like two like Koreans, they're like with a group or they're with someone else. yeah, and I don't know, maybe like in America, I don't know how Canada is, but like people are very individual here. Like,
Yeah.
they always just, it's not as, it doesn't feel as close or connected with others as compared to like when we were out there.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've spoken about a lot with people that ask me about Korea. That I'll just be like, individualism versus collectivism. It's a really simple. It's obviously much more complicated than that, and there's a whole bunch of like cultural and socioeconomic reasons for like a whole bunch of stuff. But like, kind of at the end of the day, here in Canada, in the U.S., in other Western countries, the focus is on the individual, and over there, it is much more like family, friends. My girlfriend is Korean, so seeing the way that she interacts with her family versus the way that like I interact with mine, right? Or some friends that I know and how they interact with their family. It's a clear difference.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's better. Like, I feel like some people really love the whole individualistic thing because it leads to like more adventurous people, right? People that kind of want to go and do stuff to change their life, and
Right.
you get the big job, or you go on the trip by yourself, or you do whatever.
Yeah.
But at least for me, the collectivism side of knowing that whatever I do or wherever I go, it's like that there's going to be people there that I care about, that are going to be there. Yeah, that was big for me.
Yeah, I agree, because like even now, like I'm coming back, and I mean, it's hard to find a community here, and I'm finding myself falling back more on my family and cousins and like uncles. And I'm fortunate enough that like I kind of, being Asian, we kind of all kind of have that collectivism in our culture, and so and I get to have that with my family. And then we go out and we drink, and it's becoming more of my community is just with my family. And then when I talk to other people, they're like, yo, I wish I had that sort of thing, and they're like, and I was like, oh, well, I don't know, this is kind of naturally ingrained into me, in my culture too. But yeah, I wanted to ask, how long then did you feel like it took for you to start building a community in Korea and belonging?
In Korea, it's interesting because I've heard like different stuff from different people. Some people like to say that they never find anybody. Some people say that they find like after 6 months, whatever. I got super duper lucky because I moved from Canada to Ilsan. I didn't move directly to Seoul, and I feel like that was super important because for me, living in Gyeonggi-do, and for those that don't know what Gyeonggi-do is, it's kind of like the surrounding suburb area of Seoul. All of those cities kind of had their own expat communities, so it was easy for me to like integrate. And plus, once I started working, I worked at Poly, which is, for also those that don't know, like a really big chain, like a really big school chain. So we had a lot of English teachers.
Yeah.
And I got very lucky to meet some really, really dope teachers at my school. Shout out to Sam, shout out to Kara, Carolyn, McCall, Scarlett, there's tons, Amanda. But yeah, I got very, very lucky with that. So pretty much right away, it was easy for me to at least have people, like not necessarily people that I was going to hang with all the time, but they're going out to do something. Hey, Mike, you want to come, eat with us? You want to come to this bar with us and whatever. So I got very lucky very, very early. I know that's not everybody's experience, but yeah. What about you? How was it for you?
I also got very lucky in that, like, when I was, and I know this is different for everybody because I've seen so many like horror stories of people who were like, especially on TikTok, they're just like, oh, it's so lonely out here. I have no friends for the past like 6 months, etc. But like you, I got lucky because I was going through Epic, and during that time when I was going through Epic, they also they had an orientation program, and so through that orientation program, they had like a week of just the expats that were teaching in that program of Epic, and they put us all on this like university, and they did like all this like fun stuff to introduce us to Korea and kind of help us like communicate and get get to know each other and stuff, and build some sort of like smaller community before they actually even let us out into Korea, essentially, like let us out and be on our own. And through that, I was able to meet like a bunch of other people that I was able to have an initial like relationship and friendship for the first like 2 years before I even moved up to Seoul. Because before my first 2 years, I was out in like Daegu, but like on the far side of Daegu, where it was like super rural. Yeah. So I got lucky with that.
So so was that like Ellie? Like who were those the people that you ended up meeting like at the orientation?
No, that was like that was Gage. That was like Gage and them and Kim.
Shout out Gage, you got married.
Yeah. Shout out to Gage getting married and living the dream out there. Yeah, so it was them and that crew, and I'm fortunate enough that like I'm still friends with him to this day. So like, you know, those little things like they go a long way when you like go to a different country, you know. Yeah,
it's underrated. I feel like they're really smart with that. I did not get that because I didn't go through Epic. I remember I think it might have been the second night that I was there. So essentially what happened is all the teachers at my school lived in the same building, but when I first came, my apartment wasn't ready yet. So they put me in like kind of like a hotel-esque thing, like way down the road. And I was just there by myself. And like nobody knew, like the teachers knew that I came to the country, but they didn't know where I was. They didn't know where I was. So I was kind of alone. They didn't tell them. Or maybe they did and nobody cared because I was brand new. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember going downstairs in that hotel. I'm like, man, this is boring because I came on a holiday. So everybody was already doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And I was just alone. And obviously I don't speak the language. I don't do anything like that. So I remember going downstairs and I was like just praying because I saw somebody that looked young-ish, like probably in his early 30s or late 20s or something. And I was like, hopefully this guy can like speak English and tell me like what to do.
Yeah.
So I went up to him like all shy and whatever. I was like, hey, do you know where I could like, is there like a bar or anywhere around here? Like a place where I can, and he's like, oh yeah, just like right down the road over there. I'm just like, oh, what? He's like, oh yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Oh, that's
like,
crazy.
Oh, well, there you go. This is my own prejudices. I assumed it was just this like Korean guy that's gonna be like, oh no. But no, he was just like a Korean guy from Chicago. Shout out that guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully that guy's doing well.
That's crazy.
So I ended up going to Thursday Party. That was the first place that I like ever got a drink, ever went. Ilsan had a Thursday Party. I think somebody told me it's shut down now.
Yeah.
But
shout out Thursday Party.
That was kind of like
every expat's like first bar that they go to find some sort of community.
But you need stuff like that, right? Like I feel like every city, whether it's Thursday Party or it's something else, like almost every city has like a foreigner bar.
Spot. Yeah,
you know, Itaewon used to have a whole bunch of them because obviously that's like the foreigner area. Hongdae has it. Ilsan, I got very lucky with that. I remember visiting Herson in Weijungbu. There was just some spots out there as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, even like in Daegu, they had like their little just alley where all the foreigners would hang out and just like loiter and like drink and have fun. Yeah. Yeah,
and that's another thing that helps you build community. But I feel like stuff like that can exist. Like it can't really exist here because there's no, like everybody is just everybody. There's no like group, like outcast group where it's like in Korea, it's like, you're very clearly a Korean person or you're an expat.
Yeah.
So you're going to connect with people who you see that are kind of in the same situation as you.
Yeah.
Here, everybody's just like, you're Canadian, like you're American. Like there's no, and if you're social, then that's cool. You can always just meet people, but there's no indicator of like, this is a person who's trying to like mingle or like make friends or anything like that. You gotta wing it kind of.
Yeah. So what would you say then is like the biggest difference between like finding that community in Korea and then try to reestablish that back here at home, you know?
I feel like when I was there, it was a necessity. There was no choice, right? Like I'm either gonna do this and I'm gonna like meet people and I'm gonna make friends and I'm gonna build a community around me, or I'm just gonna be lonely, feel like garbage, and then go home after a year. Here, it's almost like you kind of default, right? Because it's like I'm from here. Like I have friends from college, just like everybody else. I have friends from when I was in high school, middle school, whatever. So you kind of default to them, And like everybody else, I'm kind of less willing to put myself out there and like be like, oh, you know, I'm trying to make new friends. You know, like I'm 33, right? Like a lot of people are kind of not really in the mode of trying to go out and meet new people, but I feel like people should, you know, and that's why I've been thinking a lot about community recently, because I feel like you just get to a point where it's like, well, this is what I have. You know, like the people that I met when I was 18 are just the people that are going to be my only friends for the rest of my life. So I've tried to kind of break that stigma down.
Do you also feel
do something about it?
Right. And so does that mean, do you also feel that because we kind of have that default mentality here back home, that's like a reason why our community feels less, I guess, like connected?
I do. I think that that's a huge reason why. Because I think when you have a relationship, like you have friendships that have been built up over a really long time, it's kind of the great thing about it is that, for example, I can leave. I can leave and go to Korea and come back 5 years later, and it's like my friends are still my friends. But at the same time, there's like the excitement of like building new connections, learning about new people. It's not really there, right? Like I remember like playing volleyball with you guys and just like meeting new people. Like when I met you, I met Jose, Moriel, like everybody like that. It was, you know, you're learning new things about these people and they're becoming an important part of your life, but it's new. It's almost like the idea of like dating a new person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is.
Like you meet a new person and it's exciting. You know, you're learning new stuff, you're going on dates and whatever. And your relationships just kind of change as you get older and as you stay with one person or you stay with a group of friends for a long period of time. They get deeper, and you know they get better in their way. But yeah, it's just different.
Also, I think like, you know, meeting all of you guys like taught a lot about myself, like how I wanted to be as an individual, and like in so many ways meeting all of these newer people out there in Korea like you guys, it like helped me grow as a person too. Like I really, for example, I really look up to you, you know, like I kind of want to put
thank you
your certain individualistic traits of yourself into me, and I'm like, you know, and having the default friendship is nice, and it's like, okay, they will always be there. That's the nice thing about it. But at the same time, because they'll always be there, we kind of get stagnant in terms of like growing as individuals and in terms of relationships. And it feels like, okay, I don't, and not to say that it's anything wrong with that person individually, but I can't learn anything from them anymore because we could just do our default, you know, it's our daily routine or whatever. Yeah.
And also I think that there's something to be said for like being in a shared situation. You know, it's like my friends here, I have fantastic friends here. You know what I'm saying? I got friends that are getting married next month. I'm in the bridal party, or groomsmen or whatever with him and other friends. And like, I love that. I think that that's amazing. Right. But I think that there's just something special about, you know, we're all there. Pretty much all of us were teaching, you know, like we were all kind of alone and we had to come up with something together. And I think just like when I look at my friends now, everybody's at a different stage, right? Like I have friends that are still at the raves in the club. I have friends that are climbing the corporate ladder, making like crazy amounts of money a year. I have friends that bought houses. I have friends that, you know, like I have friends that are still traveling. Like they live in like other countries doing their thing. And I think that everybody living their life and doing something different and being separate, is that cohesion there. Like I always kind of joke around about Korea where it's because when I was in university, I didn't stay on residence or anything like that. I lived at home and I went to a school that I could take the bus to essentially. And I kind of always joke around that like living in Korea, especially living in Seoul, was almost like the second university experience. It was like everybody was like, all of our friends were around the same age. We all had our own place. Everybody could like, you could go out at any time, do whatever you want. You know, like nightlife was crazy. Everybody's drinking, food's good, everything. And then I got back. I'm like, oh, I'm an adult now. Like, like I have real adult responsibilities. So it's just different.
Yeah. Hold on. What? I'm busy right now. Sorry. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. It definitely feels like a second university experience, but also it was kind of weird because like you're also still an adult there. You know what I mean? Because again, we talked about how we had to go there all by ourselves and build up a whole new life and find our own income, find our own, like in some cases, some people find their own housing. You know, get their own. Like dentistry and stuff, you know, make their own food, find food, taking care of themselves, you know. So it was like a weird mix between like, you know, that university experience, but then also being an adult at the same time. I think it was also like very freeing, you know, like very freeing. I always felt like you could basically do anything you wanted at any time.
Yeah, and you could be anybody, right? Like the amount of stuff that I did with music there, like I had never done it before, and I haven't done it since. Like I'm still making music, you know, like I'm still doing my thing, but just like there was a point in time where I was performing like every single weekend, or like every Thursday, Friday, whatever. I was hosting my own events, I was doing like all kinds of stuff, and it's not to say that I can't do that here, but it's just like there was just something. It was almost like there was like a weight lifted. And it's like when you're in Korea, like you can really be who, not only who you want to be, but who you are, right? Like who you actually are, and really express yourself in that way. And I miss that. I think that I'm working on like bringing that mic back here, and like finding that joy again.
Yeah. It kind of feels like, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but like being back here, like if I'm trying to experiment with who I want to be here, it's kind of like, you kind of get a little bit judged. It feels like that way. People are like, why isn't this guy just get himself together and do the normal thing, like the corporate job, 9 to 5? Come on, like everyone's doing it, you know. And being out in Korea, I could vlog and podcast and make clips and do all of that all day, every day. And you know, people are just like, okay, he's just doing his thing, you know. He's trying to, you know, figure out himself. No worries, I'm doing my own thing too. Yeah,
people kind of look at it like my parents, like all love to my parents, obviously I love my parents, but they even viewed Korea as like, oh, he's just over there, you know, like he's over there just like, and then when he comes back, you know, when he comes back, he'll figure it out. He's gonna come back and he's gonna find a job and he's gonna, you know, settle down and he's gonna do whatever. And it's just like, those years that I was there, that's still life. You know what I'm saying? Like I was still living there. Like I was still learning. I was still growing. Like I was still doing stuff. Like it's not like it's like 5 years like redacted. Like these years don't matter. Like only thing that mattered is before and when you came back. And it's like that's just not true.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that led to a lot of friction with my parents when I came back, because I think that they knew of pre-Korea me, and then I was gone for a while, and then I came back, and I think that they were expecting that like everything was the same. Like you just kind of went over, had some fun, and then you came back, but you're the same person. I'm like, no, like I'm different. I'm 5 years, 6 years older now, and I'm different. Like I'm, you know, things have changed. So we're cool now. Everything's great. But it took a lot of understanding. It took a lot of patience. And just getting to a good place with them where they understood that like I wasn't over there just messing around, like I was living my life.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. My parents are the exact same way, you know. But yeah, like it took a long time for my parents to also kind of understand that like I am a different person. Like it wasn't like, it was like it wasn't like as if, I don't know, a time skip of some sort and like nothing happened. You know. And I wanted to bring up because I've always hated like this phrase that a lot of expats use when they were there. This phrase that was like, I need to start my life. You know, whenever they're transitioning back home or something, like I need to start my life. You know. I'm like, I just think that phrasing is really bad because like you're doing a big disservice to yourself and to the life that you've been living out in Korea or wherever you may be, and you're just doing disservice to yourself. Like you're not giving yourself enough credit. You know, just because you may not be doing like the typical societal norm of like, you know, finding some sort of corporate job or getting married and having kids or, you know, finding that house with the white picket fence or whatever, it doesn't mean that your life isn't going. It's still happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The way that I always kind of viewed it is less of like, I'm starting my life. And for me, it was more of like, I need to make a decision about my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, it's either I'm going to stay and I'm going to like, whatever that looks like, whether it means that I'm going to teach for however long I'm gonna teach, or I'm gonna try to find maybe a different job, like maybe work at a college or university or an international school, or learn Korean and try and find a different job, or I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna try and make it work here, right? So for me, I just need to make a decision, because the way that I viewed it was like, the longer that I stay, like I tell people to this day, I literally had a conversation with somebody about it today, because just like a coffee chat about like a job or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I told him, like, I love Seoul, right? Like if I could have done a different job instead of teaching, because teaching, you know, after that time just wasn't for me, mm-hmm. I probably would have stayed, right? Like I love living there. I love like all the things that it brings. But for me, I just knew that I wasn't going to continue teaching. It's difficult to do a lot of other kinds of stuff there. There's visa restrictions. A lot of jobs require you to have like nearly fluent Korean. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't there. I didn't have all that. So, so for me, I just had to make a choice. And my choice was like, what happens if I stay in Korea for another 5 years, right? Like I'm here for 10 years and then I come back, because eventually I'm probably going to come back. Right. And then it's going to be even harder for me to find a job. Mm-hmm. You know, it's going to be harder for me to start over. Like what happens if I come back to Canada at 43, you know, right, or 42 instead of 32, you know? And what does that look like? For a lot of people, that's fine. There's people that are straight lifers that will probably be in Korea for the rest of their life and they enjoy it, and that's the choice that they made. Mm-hmm. And there's people that go for a year, do whatever they got to do, and then they come home. I fell a little bit in between that. I stayed for 5 years. You stayed for 6, mm-hmm. right? And you know, we make our choices, and we kind of live with whatever that looks like.
Exactly. I always think about like there is a version of me that like decided to stay in Korea, right? Mm. And that version right now is probably, you know, trying to go to like the Han River and trying to get the last of like the summer, you know, vibes before it turns into the cold seasons. But then, you know, the one that is here right now is he chose to come back to America, or you chose to go back to Canada, right? And you know, we made that decision, and we have to live with like that fact that we made that decision, and we chose that for a reason, because like you were saying, you don't know, like you're not gonna be there forever. And for me, I've always thought Korea was never gonna be my forever home. It's always been in the back of my head. I could see it as a forever home if I wanted to, but it just wasn't there. And so, you know, coming back home, then do you feel that it's been a little bit more, I guess, lonely?
Yeah.
Like pre 5 years for you, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. I do feel like I'm a little bit lonelier, but I also feel like it's circumstantial, right? Like right now I live outside of Toronto. I live in like one of the suburbs of like outside of Toronto. And when I was the last 3 years that I was in Korea, I was in Seoul. Like Seoul is a literal mega city, right? So it's like things are open all night. There's people all over the place. All of my friends all lived in the same city. There wasn't like hey, I want to hang out. This friend is coming from this city. This friend is coming from this city. This person has to drive. You know, like there wasn't any of that. We were all in the same place. All of our schedules, like work schedules, were essentially the same thing. We're working throughout the day as teachers. You didn't have friends that were working night shifts or, you know, working 12 hours or anything like that. So it was just, like our lives all coincided in a way that made sense. Whereas here, there's just a lot more variance. So yeah, I do feel lonelier. Sometimes I do think about like, would I have been happier if I stayed? And, you know, even with all of that and like the way that I feel now, I don't know if I would have. And the reason why is because, like you said, I didn't think that Korea was going to be a place that I was going to stay at forever. If I did, I would have went about it differently. I have friends that went and like off rip, they were like, I'm studying Korean. You know, like I'm getting in Korean classes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that F6 or whatever visa. I'm gonna get that F visa. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna change jobs. Like they were on point from day one. And, you know, congrats to them. Like I have friends that got married to their Korean partner over there. I have friends that found different jobs and friends that started businesses, you know. Well, shout out Jason. He already had his business before we were friends, but shout out Jason from Lit Lounge. DJ Pinnacle. But they had a plan and they executed on that plan. And for me, it just wasn't the plan. You know, like I always kind of knew that I was going to come back. I didn't know what that was going to look like, mostly because it's not like I graduated from like this super, you know, high performance degree or, you know, or I was coming back to like somebody who's like, yo, when you come back, we're going to get you a job right away. Like I wasn't coming back to any of that. So I knew that I was going to have to restart, and I was going to have to restart in a very difficult place because, you know, you're in the US, I'm in Canada. It's expensive out here. You know, things aren't as available, you know, the idea of somebody paying for your housing, that's not a thing, you know, that's not a thing here. So yeah, it was, but I knew that. And yeah, coming back, it was in my mind that like what it was going to be like. So I wasn't like shocked, but it does still suck, you know?
Yeah. I agree. Cause there's a sad part that like coming back, you are kind of like starting from zero in a sense too. Like you're trying to find, you're trying to find that community, like what we're talking about. Right. And then outside of just doing that, it's like going back to Korea again, almost, but you're at home at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a very weird balance between the two of like, hey, this is my home, but at the same time, I gotta navigate myself again. And like you're doing what you did in Korea all over again, especially because like, and the same with like how we changed throughout the 6 years or 5 years. All the people here, they've all also like changed in the 5-6 years that we've been gone. And like we were saying, they have houses, kids and whatnot, but it's also weird because then like it's still your home, so it being home means that a lot of things haven't changed at the same time. And so you're navigating between like, okay, things are new but things are not new, this is still home, it's still familiar but it's not familiar. And then you're trying to find a job and all that stuff, and the market sucks right now, and the economy is always bad. But it's kind of tough, man. It has been, at least for me, it's been feeling a lot more lonely too.
Yeah, you're like displaced, you know. It's because one thing that you just said that was really important is like time doesn't stop when you're gone, right? Like your friends are growing, your family's growing. Like I have friends that the entire time I was gone, they climbed the career ladder, right? Like they started making more money, they got bigger promotions and jobs and stuff. I have friends that they found new friends, not like they replaced me, but like they, you know, 5-6 years is a long time. That's like you can build a really close connection with a new person or a new group of people in that time. And I have friends that did happen to, where they met new people and they spend a lot of their time with those people, and I can't fault them for it. I can't sit here and be mad about it, right? Like, or sad about it, because I made the choice to leave. I made the choice to go over there, and while I was over there having fun, they were here living their life and having their own fun. And like, as much as those will always be my friends, the reality of the situation is like, you know, friends grow and things change. And the relationship that I had with these people when I was like 23, 24, before I went to Korea, just isn't the relationship that I have with them now. I still love them, but it's like you just grow and people change. So you got to find something new that works for you.
I think like one of the toughest thing that I've been experiencing with the community here is that now that we're back, or now that I'm back at least, it feels like I'm trying to race against time now. I know we mentioned like, you know, we've been living our lives too, but then coming back, it's hard to not feel this sort of pressure when you're looking around at like all your other friends and family and stuff, being like, I'm not at the same spot in terms of the societal norms that would be, you know, like placed in like America. Whereas like in the community that we were back in Korea, you know, it didn't really matter where you were too much. And you know, you were kind of not racing against each other. You were just kind of racing against yourself. At least that's how I felt when I was in Korea. You know, I was just trying to always be progressing myself. And I'm trying to bring that back here too in America, where I don't feel as pressured. Like, for example, with my younger brother, he's already married and has a house, and I'm still like just coming back. I don't have a wife yet, you know, not even close, and I'm back with my parents too at the same time. So it's hard to not feel that pressure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Funny that you said your brother, because me and my brother are exactly the same. Where it's like I got to give a shout out to my brother, because when I was gone, he did his thing, right? Like he got his money right. You know what I'm saying? He found a good job. He's about to be married as well. He bought a house with his fiance. Like he used that time wisely, and he did his thing. And it's weird to come back, because me and my brother are very close in age, and sometimes you do feel like low key like a loser, right? Where it's like I'm looking at not just my brother but my friends, and even my girlfriend, right? Where you know they're successful and they're smart and they did their thing, but I always have to look at it, and it's like life is about trade-offs, right? Like I've had conversations with a friend who started a business probably like over a year ago now, actually probably when I was still in Korea, and he's like, I'm like, man, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Like he got married, he has a kid now, he started a business and everything like that. And I'm looking at him like, I don't have any of those stuff. He's like, man, you did something that like most people are never going to get to do. Exactly. You know, like I had a conversation today with somebody who's like, man, like I can't just pick up and go now. I have a wife, I have a kid, I have a mortgage. Like I can't just leave. Like if I wanted to do what you do, like what you did, I would have to wait until all of this stuff is like not nearly as big of a deal and then go, you know? So like, I think we took advantage of it at the right time. But you have to deal with the consequences of that, right? So it's like, for all the good that we got to experience, like you had to give something up. And for us, it was that stability. For us, it was the potential of maybe having been married already, or, you know, having that high powered position or whatever it was. Maybe we would have never even had that, right? Maybe we would have stayed for 5-6 years and just been like moseying along doing whatever. But like we had to give up something to get something. And if I had to go back and make the decision, I would make the decision again. You know, like I would do the exact same thing again. So as much as this point is painful, you know, like right now things kind of suck. It is a little bit lonely. I feel like I'm not able to like live and capitalize on the things that I want to. If somebody asked me to go back and make a different decision, I'm not going to make a different decision. I would do it again, you know? So, yeah.
I agree. I was also thinking about, you said about like how people don't have the opportunity, but it's also true that, you know, some people, I was talking to some people, like they also like they couldn't do it. Like not just that they don't have the opportunity, even if they were given the opportunity, that they wouldn't be able to do it. Like people have told me that, like, and I'm like, I don't know, for me it was just something I did, and like it felt natural. It felt like something I had to do, and people were telling me like that's like they couldn't survive by themselves out there. And I think we have to balance that out. Like again, you said it's a trade-off. The value that we've got from living out there for like X amount of years versus, and you can't compare that to the value of whatever that we're comparing it to now back at home. You know, like sure, some corporate job, sure, a house, sure, you're married, whatever. That value is not the same as the value that we got from living out abroad, you know? And I have to like, I have to constantly remind myself that like, hey, you know, as much as I may or may not feel behind compared to like my siblings or something, they're not equal. Like what we experience and what they have and what I have now, they're not equal. It just depends on how I value them. And I had to remind myself, hey, this is a valuable thing that, like you said, I would definitely just do it again. Like I would never trade it for anything else, you know?
Yeah, we're just different people, you know? Like I've had people tell me that too. They're like, oh, I could never do it. I'm like, you could do it. Like if people knew what it was, I think the reason why people say that they can't do it is because it's unknown to them, right? Like they don't know what actually goes into it. They don't know what the day-to-day life of like living over there by yourself really is. So they probably view it as this big scary thing. And in some ways it is scary, right? You're in a country where you don't speak the language or you don't speak it very well. You're with a bunch of strangers. Like it is scary, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it was that hard. Like I don't know. I felt like we had a good time, and it wasn't like I didn't feel like existential dread every single day or anything like that. Like it felt fine for us to be there. But I get it. I think it takes a certain kind of person to pick up and just move to another country, and I think that because of that, you run into a lot of people when you're there that do feel kind of like kindred spirits, because I think it takes a certain kind of person to want to do that. Right. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, because I know that you have also met people over there that are assholes. I've met people over there that suck as well. But yeah, I think it takes a certain kind of person to move there. But I really do believe that people should give themselves more credit. Like you could do it if you wanted to do it. It's not the boogeyman, like you'll survive. It's not that crazy. And worst case scenario, you do a year and you just go home.
Yeah, exactly. It does take a special someone to move, and I think that's what made our bonds so nice too. Like we did get lucky that we got to meet each other first off, but then having that, I guess, same sort of mentality or whatever that we have that's that brought us together. I think we got really lucky there. So then let's say, for example, someone is trying to move out there. Like how would you tell them to build a community then? Like let's say they don't get the lucky chance that we did, like where you went to a poly school or where I went to orientation.
That is a great question. I'm always going to be a big proponent, whether it's there or even here. Like, if you love to do something, try to find people that do it. And if that doesn't exist, then you might have to make it. But I'm also biased because I lived in metropolitan areas. If you go to Korea on Epic, I don't think Gepic exists anymore, but if you go on Epic, they literally might place you in a forest somewhere, and like that sucks. I didn't live that experience, so I can't say, like I don't know what that's like. I had friends that lived that experience and they made it out fine. Shout out Eric, shout out Carmen. But I lived in metropolitan areas. But if you're into music like I am, like you can find people that do it. Me and you both play volleyball. That brought us like a whole host of people that we ended up meeting. I know people that they're into social justice. They got involved in stuff there. People that are into making things, like they knit or they like whatever they do, right? Or even if you just like to drink, like if you want
Koreans love drinking too.
A lot of drinking, a lot of food and stuff like that. You want to just show up and go to Hongdae, Itaewon, Apgujeong, whatever, like you will meet people. But the one thing that you have to do is you have to be open to it. Like you have to be open to getting outside your house. Like people, your friends aren't just going to fall through your ceiling. Like you're going to have to go through maybe a bit of a learning curve as far as meeting people. But there's people that are out there. Like as long as you're open to it, because I've met people that are not. And those are the people that complain. Where it's like, oh, Korea sucks. I hate it here. I can't do XYZ. I'm like, well, have you tried? Like, have you tried, walking down to the cafe, like the hip cafe that the young people hang out at? Have you tried dropping by the bar for one? You don't have to be an alcoholic. Drop by the bar for one drink. Talk to the bartender. Go to the expat bar. Go on Facebook. There's a whole bunch of Facebook groups for people that are doing different kinds of stuff. There's just, and then once you find that one or two people, especially people that have been there for a while, those people have their own people, so that's how your web kind of
starts to form,
starts forming. So that's what I would say. We had volleyball, but people got all kinds of stuff. I know friends that play Frisbee, friends that are, they're like social media people, actors and whatever, and they met people through that. So just don't be afraid to leave your house and actually go do something.
Yeah, exactly. I've mentioned this before too. Like, if you're gonna go to Korea and you're just gonna work and come back home, and then you're expecting something to happen, like it's not. Like you have to really push yourself Like, and it is a learning. For me, it was like, especially being an introvert. My first 2 years in Korea was a learning curve. Like the first 2 years I was there, I spent that time actually just learning how to make a community, how to build a community for myself. And so I think if you're going there and you're like, what, even like, let's say 6 months in, you're still like, I can't find anything. Like, look, keep trying. Like, that's all. Like, you're going to have to keep trying. You're going to have to keep pushing. Like, if you want to, like, your experience is based off of you, right? Like, if something like bad happens to you, how you take it, it's going to determine your experience, not the actual thing that's happening, you know? To a degree, right? Like, if you're in a burning house, and yes, that's going to be a bad experience. But, you know, like, if you just had like a miscommunication, you couldn't speak Korean and couldn't order something, like, that's not that. You could take that as like your entire day's ruined, or you can just be like, look, I got to learn a little bit more Korean. I got to know these basics, you know, or I can go find a kiosk, because Korea is so convenient. You can just go to kiosk and change the menu to English, you know, find ways to like navigate that will make sense to that caters to your own strengths. And you'll be able to find that community eventually, you know?
Yeah. And I'm sympathetic to people who live in like tough areas to meet people, because like I said, your area matters. Like the reason why I didn't go through Epic was because I couldn't do it. If they put me in like a random like boonies place, like it would have been hard for me. So that's why I was like, I need to be able to choose where I live. You guys are much more brave than I am. I know you went through Epic. I know Herson went through Epic. But yeah, area matters, but at the same time, it's still on you, right? And this is funny enough. This is something I have to like tell myself now, where I'm like, it's the same. It's no different here. Like, I need to still go out. I still need to interact with people. If I want to build something, then I have to go and build it. The tough thing over there at first was I had to break the idea that if I wanted to do something, I had to go with somebody. I remember when I was like back in the day, it was like, oh, you want to go out to dinner? You're gonna go sit in a restaurant by yourself, you loser. Like, what are you gonna, you know, or like, oh, you're gonna go to a movie by yourself? You're gonna go to the bar by yourself? Like, who does that? You need to go with your friends. And then when you go over there, you don't have any friends at first. So it's like, so what are you gonna do? You're just never gonna go anywhere or do anything. Like, you kind of have to break that and decide, like, I'm gonna pull up to the restaurant or to the cafe or to the bar or to whatever by myself, and you have to be okay with that.
And spark those conversations, man. Like, you have to be the one. Sometimes you have to be the one who reaches out. Like, for me, I'm not as I don't know if the word lucky is the right word, but like, I blend in. I look Korean, so no random person's gonna pop up to me and start speaking English. I have to go out there and be like, hey, I'm blah 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 blah, you know. Like, you have to take awareness into your into your settings, your situation, and really put yourself out there.
I feel like I'm lucky in like the other way, where it's like I'm clearly not Korean at all or Asian, but for some reason, especially Korean men just like black men. I don't know what it is. Like, if you go to the club, you go to the basketball court, it's like, oh my God, that's like LeBron James
randomly.
Yeah, and it's like they're more willing to interact and stuff. Korean women, no, that's not like, they're not going to do that. But women in general, I feel like are much more reticent about just like running up to people like that. But yeah, like, I got very lucky with like the young Korean male crowd, where they're like, oh, this is like a cool person, I want to interact with this person. So
and then I think that just goes to like your personality, whether you want to try to build relationships upon that or not. Like, and sometimes in those situations, they just want a high five too, you know, or I'm sure it can get a little obnoxious though if it happens every night to one or Hongdae.
It depends. It's like, for example, if I was performing, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get off stage, people want to talk to you and, you know, and whatever, and they'll go, oh, that's so cool, blah, blah, blah. I love it. You know, I'm there for them. Like, I'm there to perform for them. There are days where like I would just be in the club or in the bar or whatever, just at the bar ordering a drink, and like people come up and they're just they're on you. But at the same time, it's like I'm in their country, right? Like I'm there, and I obviously look different than people that they're used to. For whatever reason, they have an appreciation for whatever I got going on. Like whether it's they like black culture or they
just
like
want to be cool like you, brother.
Music. They not like me, like the caricature of what they believe that black people are like. And sometimes it's in good faith, and sometimes you know it's a little bit weird. But you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. Alrighty. So a couple of final questions. What about the community in Korea? One, do you miss the most, and two, would you like to bring back like to where you are home now?
That is a good question. A good two questions. What do I miss the most about it? I think I miss the openness and the accessibility. I always felt like I could make friends, you know, and it never felt out of reach to me. It never felt like, I have to overextend myself or like break my back to be able to meet people. You know, it's like if you just put the time in, you know, you put your shoes on, you go outside and you go do something, you can make friends. And over time, if you, like I said, the cost of a good community is inconvenience. If you're willing to inconvenience yourself even a little bit, you'll be able to make great friendships. And I was able to do that. So definitely the openness of people. Because as we've spoken about, a lot of people go there alone. So they're just a lot more open. Plus, the type of person that's willing to pick up and move to another country, they're probably going to be more open to new experiences than a lot of other people. And the accessibility, right? Like, if I wanted to do something, like it's Friday right now, like Friday afternoon. If I wanted to do something tonight in Korea, I could hit the group chat and be like, yo, I'm going to hike right now. Shout out hike.
Yeah, shout out to hike, bro.
Shout out hike. I'm going to hike right now.
Itaewon.
Pull up.
Yeah.
And people will pull up and you will have a good time.
Yeah.
If I want to do something now, I have to let people know in advance.
Yeah.
Like I can't really be like, yo, I'm going a place in like an hour, because people gotta drive. If they're not gonna drive, they gotta figure out how they're gonna get there. You might have to pay for an Uber, take a train, do all kinds of stuff. Like plans need to be a lot more solid.
Yeah.
Whereas, over there it's like going to Dokkaebi. I'm literally already in Hongdae right now. Like pull up, and people will just hop on the train and they'll show up.
Pull up, yep.
So, yeah.
I agree. Like, not only that, but it always feels as if like if I'm trying to get something to happen here, there's always some sort of friction. Like something, like if everything doesn't align perfectly, then they're not going to pull up. You know what I mean? Like if there's not enough head count, or if I don't know, if it's like 2 minutes too far, or like, I don't know, some sort of inconvenience, they're not going to pull up. But in Korea, bro, if I'm working and I already drank the night before or something, I got a hangover, but you asked me to pull up that night, I'm like, all right, I probably pull up, you know?
And that's the thing. It's like people are looking for a reason to say no here, and people are looking for a reason to say yes over there. It's like, just give me a reason to show up and I'll show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas here, it's like, I'm looking for a way out. I want to flop on this. So if you give me any reason to not show up, I'm going to take the out and stay home.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like the idea too that not just like expats, but also Korean people. It's like everything in Korea and probably in Japan and a place like that, it happens outside, right? People don't really go to people's houses like that. Like we would do it every now and then, but for the most part, like if you want to meet up with people, you're meeting up at the restaurant, you're meeting up at the cafe, you're meeting up even like in the street, literally in the middle of the street in like Hongdae or whatever. Whereas here a lot more people are like, oh, come to my house, like, you know, we'll have some wine or some beers at the house, or we'll order Uber Eats or whatever. But there it was much more like meet me outside somewhere.
Yeah, we're all going towards some sort of adventure.
So it's I think that's important. It's just a lot more giving yourself and giving people more reasons to say yes to things instead of like looking for reasons to say no to things. Is
that this thing that you would want to bring back here, or back to Canada, at least back
I think
home?
just an openness and an adventurous spirit to spending time with people. You know, I think, especially with social media, I think it's like people kind of mistake it for a real connection, and they're like, well,
or for reality itself.
Yeah, I see you on social. That means that, you know, I'm keeping up with you, and it's like, not really. That's kind of why I'm not on Instagram right now. But I will be back on Instagram soon, because I got some stuff. I got some music in the works, so I'm gonna have to share it out with everybody.
Nice. All right, final question.
Yes, sir.
Has the relationships and community that you formed in Korea? Oh my God. Sorry. Has that in any way changed how you've shown up for the people here back home?
Yes, but I will say that it wasn't immediate. I think that when I came back, I kind of fell into old patterns where it's like, this is the way that I interact with my friends, right? Like, this is the way that it was beforehand. And then I lived in Korea and I operated in a different way because I was essentially a different version of myself. And then I came back and you kind of fall into old patterns. But when I realized that I wasn't fulfilled by those old patterns, like I wasn't happy with not seeing my friends often. I wasn't happy with feeling isolated. I wasn't happy with any of those things. Then you have to change your mindset, right? And luckily for me, I was able to live through 5 years of a completely different mindset where I was like, what can I take from that time there that I learned and apply it over here? So I think it has, where it's, just that same saying, like, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to be inconvenienced and whatever. And even if other people aren't going to necessarily do that for you all of the time, keep showing up. Keep showing up anyway, right? Like, it's, when I was there, if somebody else was having a show or they're performing, even if I'm not performing, I'm going to go, right? It's somebody's birthday. Wherever they're having their birthday, you show up for it. Somebody wants to play a volleyball tournament with you, you know, you book that KTX and you go all the way to whatever city, you know, that it is, and you go play, right? So I think just being willing to be uncomfortable, being willing to be inconvenienced a little bit, and just not defaulting to like, everything has to be perfect. I have to be comfortable. If I'm not, then I'm not doing it. Because I think that a lot of people default to that here. Yeah,
I agree. Actually, I think I'm kind of having a little bit of the opposite problem. Like pre-Korea, I didn't know how to show up for people, and I was very like disconnected in that way. But I think throughout the friendship and community with you guys, like especially you and like Calvin and Teo and them, you guys all taught me how to show up for my friends and such. And so throughout that, I brought a lot of that back, and it's becoming a weird balance where I'm showing up a little bit too much for the people who don't show up for me here in the States. And it feels as if like, am I doing too much? Like, I'm not putting myself, right, exactly. I'm not putting myself first anymore. Whereas when we were in Korea, you know, we always put each other and ourselves like as a priority. But here, it seems as if everyone's like more individualistic. They only put themselves first. If you show up for them, then it's kind of like expected, but they don't do the same for you. And I have to kind of pull back now, you know. But it's a balance.
It's because we've experienced, at least like, we've experienced collectivism to an extent. Like we're not Korean, you know, like they obviously go about it in their way, but we've experienced what it means to put the collective over self. And I think also like we play team sports, so like I've always been of the mind that like if the team wins, I'm winning. You know, like I don't necessarily need to be the star or whatever. Exactly. But there's a lot of people that they do feel that way. You know, it's like they are the main character. They do need to be the star, right?
Especially
you need to come to their birthday
in the West.
Yeah. You need to come to their birthday, and they will come to yours if they feel like it. You know, and they're okay with that. But that's just never how I've done things.
Yeah. All right. What's one final thing you want to say about community here?
One final thing that I want to say about community here. Shout out everybody that has listened all the way through this. First of all, thank you guys. Thank you, Will, for welcoming me back to the podcast. It's been a little minute. On. Yeah, no problem. And for all those people out there, be willing to be inconvenienced. Be willing to be uncomfortable. Show up for people, because in my opinion, the only thing that matters in life is finding your purpose and taking care of your relationships. If you have good relationships and you take care of your life's purpose, whatever that is, it could be music, it could be family, it could be environmentalism, it could be social justice, you will probably live a happy and fulfilling life.
Yes,
so
sir.
Care about your people and do it with no shame.
Yes, sir. All right, Mike, thank you for ending this with such a great message. And thank you for hopping back on the podcast. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so.
Literally always do that. Anytime you call me, I will show up.
Sorry, it took a while though.
I'm not on social media right now. I will be back to social media. I got a new album coming out. It's all instrumental. I'm not rapping on it. I'm not singing on it. It's going to be a whole bunch of different genres of music. It's going to be dope. I will send it to Will when it's ready, and if he likes it, I'm sure that he will share a couple of things out. But it's going to be fun.
I've been putting like your song on the last bit of my ending. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, so Could Have Been You is actually going to be on the next album.
Yeah.
Which is one of the songs I released recently. Yeah. But outside of that, pretty much every other song is going to be new, and I do appreciate you putting it on your stuff.
Yeah, go listen to his. He's got SoundCloud. You still have SoundCloud though, right? Yes,
I still have SoundCloud. Still have Spotify and everything like that. My last album came out last year. I want to put out an album every single year, so this one's going to be out in the next month or so. And then, we're on to the next one in 2026.
Yep. Let them know where they can find you, Mike.
For sure. On SoundCloud, I am The Saint Mike, TheStMike. On Spotify, it is also Saint Mike, St.Mike, no spaces. You will see a picture of me. If you watch this video, you'll know what it looks like. Yeah. And on Instagram very soon. I'm probably gonna be back on Instagram in like the next 2 or 3 weeks. Once the album's done, I'll be back. Yeah. And that is also at The Saint Mike. And also follow my YouTube. Yeah. Nobody follows my YouTube, but follow it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much if you listened all the way to the very end. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Saint Mike, once more time. I hope you all have a great day. Until next time, peace out.